The proposal that we have, and again, I reference back to state law, the first 3 days missed of a school year, a school closure, must be made up. Georgetown County, and this is excluding the e-learning days, the 5 e-learning days. Georgetown County School District made up October 7th as one of ours, so that was our first one that we made up. So what we need to do now is make up 2 more. And also I wanted to point this out because we'll reference this in a second. State law also says that days 4 through 6 must be waived by the local board, a majority vote by the local board. So when we get to 4 to 6 days is when we can reach out to the board and request that. So the close for inclement weather for those 3 days, what we're proposing is, right now the current calendar lists April 18th as a potential weather makeup day. So we're asking for that to be day 2 of our makeup. So we will make up school. Instead of having a teacher prep day, it will now be a school is what we're asking. Also, we're asking for March 21st, 2025, which was staff development / teacher prep day, to be an in-person instructional day. That would be day 3. That takes us to day 4, where we would have to have board approval. District administration is asking for the board to waive January 24th as part of that.
Is there anything, I just need to ask this question, is there anything particularly that we know about that is observed on April 18th?
Yes.
That's Good Friday. So obviously we've heard that in the community as being a concern.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to raise that concern.
Yes, sir.
March 21st, obviously I don't know anything on March 21st. It's a observation, whatever. So I'd like to talk about April 18th, and then I would like to make a motion that we forgive the day 4 and talk about April 18th.
So I'd ask that we do, even though this is our recommendation, and I'll probably, number 1 recommendation, I'd ask that Mr. Batten, we have some other options to consider just in case the 18th would not be the most favorable.
So April 18th was already designated on our calendar as a potential makeup day. So that is a given that that's going to be one of our makeup days. It's not a day that we're asking to be made a makeup day. It is listed on our 24-25 modified year-round calendar that's passed on October 3rd, 2023 as a potential makeup day.
And we discussed that at the calendar committee, because past calendars had been a work day. Good Friday had been a work day in past calendars. So when the committee met, we did discuss that as well in detail, and that's why that was chosen as that.
My concern is families already having out-of-town trips. That is Easter weekend. Whether you observe Easter or not, that is a holiday weekend that a lot of parents leave as early as Thursday evening, Friday morning to travel to be with families. So I would just ask that we possibly reconsider that day, Mr. Chairman, to see if there is another day that would be more appropriate. If there's not another appropriate day, then obviously we can discuss this day further.
We have already actually sent that. You must have been in the same meeting I was when I didn't know about August 1st. I'll just share with you that that's already been sent to the state. So we would have to resubmit our calendar to the state since we already put that on there. And I too have concerns, but I know that it's on there and that's the way we voted as a board to move forward, and we'd have to submit our calendar again to the State Department. And I'm not sure you're going to find anybody who's going to want to use one of our weeks off when teachers have already planned trips and students have already planned trips. And I can promise you, I don't think anybody's going to want a day added on to the end of the year when our weekends, the week of Memorial Day, because I looked very closely at that also, and I just don't see a day.
Previous attempts at making up days beyond just that 18th, we've tried previously extended the school day, say Tuesdays, just as presented here, but for students. we had very low attendance, and the instructional piece, teaching and learning, was poor due to that extended day. I'll add that when you add at the end of the year, instructionally, and again, teaching and learning are not at the forefront because our testing is over and graduations are also over. And so we lose a huge population of students, and we don't serve an instructional purpose either. So there have been previous attempts. No one saw this coming, I'll tell you that we would use 5 e-learning days and have snow. And it was just February 4th. So somebody said the groundhog saw a shadow, so I don't know what that's gonna mean. But we do think, and even though we know this does present conflict for some people or challenges for some people, using another day would be very, very, very difficult beyond being able to do it because it's approved.
The other option allowed by state law is to come to school on a Saturday.
No, it's not.
Nobody's doing that. I'm sorry, nobody's doing that.
And I think sound like we're stuck with where we are, unfortunately. But fortunately, I think it's enough time now to alter those plans, understanding that it is what it is. The alternatives, my concerns are, adding to the end of the year would be who is paying attention in school as far as instruction. So we don't want to lose instructional time when we have notice out there to give families to alter their vacation plans if there were any. So we'll just keep this for food for thought next time around. Now the administration recommends the approval of the 24-25 calendar changes to include makeup days for winter storm.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second. Is there any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed is nay.
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 So we're going to do this again, and we do a show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. And those that oppose, please raise your hand.
Just Eileen, raise your hand a little higher. Thank you.
So we're going to certainly go back and bring back a different recommendation. Mr. Batten and Mr. Neal, thank you very much.